All right, here's the deal, Chelsea fans. I'm going to predict the rest of our Premier League fixtures, see where we end up. All right, Chelsea fans. So, like I said, we're jumping in here. I'm going to predict the rest of our league matches for the rest of the season. There's about, 11 left at this point post Southampton. So, I'm going to record this before that match and see if I can figure out where we're going to land post Southampton at the end of the season. So let's jump into this one here. We've got a few of them. So the first match I'm going to be looking at is Leicester City. This is going to be at home in early March. As I look at it, the probabilities have us at a 70% win. Leicester probably going to be dealing with a relegation battle, right? 19th currently, 17 points, neck and neck with Ipswich. Going to be tough for them. But if this is the business end of the season for them, they're going to give everything they got and see if they can survive in the Premier League, but it does not look like it. So I'm going to Chelsea to win that one at home. The next one, Arsenal away, middle of March, right before the international break. The probabilities have us at a 25% chance to win, 30% draw, 45% loss. Now, look, are Arsenal going to be title contenders at that point? Probably not. It seems like they have fumbled the bag. But does that mean they're still not a good team and that they're still not going to look at this as a rivalry and want to essentially put Chelsea even deeper down the table after having been above them back earlier in the season in the table? I don't see us winning this other than I do not see us winning this. So mark this up as a loss. Move on to the next match, which is post-break, Chelsea versus Tottenham back at home. Now, I know this is another rivalry. I know Tottenham have picked up a little bit of form. I say that very hesitantly. They've won 3 in a row, right? Beating United, which you tell me if that's a big win or not. But they're 10 points off us. They might have closed the gap to single digits, especially if we're not really getting results at this point. The probabilities have it at 55% win, 25% draw, 20% loss. If anything, I could see a draw here. I just don't know if this Chelsea team can step up in the moment. Tottenham are going to feel like this is a big thing. Will the Chelsea players respond in the same manner? I just don't know. So if they're healthy and we are still struggling to find goals, it's going to be a tough day off. It's going to be a tough day out for the Blues, so I'm going to do a draw. Next up, you have Chelsea versus Brentford. So here's what we're looking at. This is away at the GTEC Community Stadium. The probabilities have us at 45% win, 30% draw, 25% lose. Now, look, they're a scrappy team at home. They've upset bigger teams in the last, I'd say, multiple seasons. They got it in them. This is a West London rivalry, right? I think the teams are maybe 10 minutes away from each other. The only team closer, Fulham, I believe. So Chelsea's quality should shine through. It's going to be tight. Again, you could easily see a 1-1 draw the way this team is going. And ironically, they're probably going to score off a set piece after we hired their set piece manager, right? I mean, obviously, they're going to win off a corner or a set piece. We'll have to see. But I'm very hesitant to just stamp a W on this one. 2 months ago, I would have said all day, no problem. I draw, I guess that's my level of confidence is a draw. So right now I've got us at 1 win, 1 loss, 2 draws. That's our running tally. Doesn't feel great. But then middle of April, we get to Chelsea versus Ipswich. Now here's the deal. I didn't talk about this either. Tottenham, April 2nd. Brentford, April 5th. Ipswich, April 12th. That is 3 matches in 10 days. Now the good news is 2 of them are in London. Right? One being at Stamford Bridge, the other one at GTEC and Brentford. So very easy from a logistics and travel standpoint. So then you go to Ipswich, the 3rd match, knowing Maresca probably going to be heavy rotation against Brentford, or do you play your strongest 2 11s in the first 2 and you kind of pump the brakes on Ipswich because they are in 18th as of recording with Leicester City, 17 points. They do have light at the end of the tunnel. They've beaten us already. How do we stack up against this team for a 3rd match in 10 days? You'd imagine our depth is better than theirs. They'd be struggling to keep up. So at that point, you have to go with a win. At Stamford Bridge, at home, a little bit of a revenge, which is embarrassing we're even talking about this. 80% win probability, 15% draw, 5% loss. The prediction here has a blowout win against 3-0 or 3-0, 4-1. I don't see that. They are not taking into consideration the 3 matches in 10 days. I don't see it. So I'm going to go with the win, but that's a lot in 3 days. So 2 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws right now. All right, now we got Fulham away at Craven Cottage again. Short trip, just talked about it. The probabilities here are stacked at 50% win for Chelsea, 30% draw, 20% for a loss. Fulham are right on our heels. Before Southampton, 4 points off of us. Very much within reaching distance. Fulham are solid at home. What is our squad depth going to be at this point? I'm nervy. I hate going into these matches where it's like Fulham are probably going to get excited, call it a London derby, level up their commitment and their effort, and catch Chelsea sleeping. Like, how many times have we seen that last 2 seasons? I get really worried about this. Like, I don't know. Can we really confidently call a victory? I know Fulham are starting to cool down a little bit, but they still won 3 of their last 5. I'm gonna go win because I don't think we're gonna win our next match. So I think we have to win here. 3 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws. And I don't feel great about it. So that gets us to our last match in April, which again, I hinted at. I don't think we're gonna win. Chelsea versus David Moyes' Everton. That's right. Moyes' back at home, and the boys in blue are being obnoxious. They have risen up in the Premier League, unbeaten in their last 5. Now, it's at home, so the probabilities are leaning heavily towards Chelsea with a 65% win, 20% draw, 15% lose. Clearly, they are not taking into consideration Moyes and the recent form. It's just, they are dogged, they're frustrating, they are committed to the cause. They're not getting relegated. I mean, draw. I don't see us keeping a clean sheet, and they're going to scrap in a goal. I mean, who knows? Tarkowski might have another raging volley in the 95th minute. So I'm going draw here. 3 wins, 1 loss, 3 draws right now. 12 points from 7 matches out of possible 21. That's how I'm rounding us out of April. So 12 points out of 21. I mean, is that enough to overcome Newcastle and Bournemouth? I don't know. Is that going to get us into top 4? That all depends on Nottingham Forest. They're the ones holding on to that 3rd slot over City. I think City are going to get back up there. So at that point, I don't think that's enough going into May to be in top 4. The real question is, are we going to have a chance? Are we going to be within reaching distance? Because, man, May's going to be messy. So here we go. May 3rd. To be champions, if not already champions, Liverpool at Stamford Bridge. 35% win probability. 30% draw, 35% loss. Loss, right? Obviously, we're going to lose that match. I mean, would it be title spoilers? No, because they're going to run away with it over Arsenal. So this is just a formality at that point. Okay? Mohamed Salah, probably Golden Boot winner. Arne Slot, manager of the season, because he came in from the Dutch league and won the Premier League at a gallop. So that's going to be obnoxious. Just buckle up. May 3rd. Maybe skip that one. All right, so that's a loss. 3 wins, 2 losses, 3 draws. Next up, May 10th, Newcastle away, St. James's Park. It's going to be us punch for punch going for top 4 the way it looks right now. We were well ahead of them, and we have absolutely slipped in the table, and they have taken advantage. Anthony Gordon step up, Isak stepping up, playing much better compared to how they were in the middle of the season when they were absolute terrible. Eddie Howe has turned this team around. So the probabilities have us at a 35% win, 30% draw, 35% loss. That's the same as Liverpool. I don't see it. The only cracks with Newcastle right now is that they've only won 2 of their last 5. So like, they are there to be had. But again, I just have zero confidence in this team right now. I'd be happy with a draw. 3 wins, 2 losses, now 4 draws, which takes us to Manchester United, the second to last match of the season, 18th of May at Stamford Bridge. I mean, United are toast. 30 points, so they're not going to get dragged into relegation. But my word, I mean, they're going to be in the mid-teens, mid to low teens. I think they're going to have shifted in at this point. I think they're going to be done trying, probably going to be playing a lot of kids. People are going to be looking to exit this club. They're going to have massive squad overhaul. I don't think we have to worry about them. I think they're going to roll over. Onana's going to throw in his own net. They got us at a 45% win probability, 30% draw, 25% loss. Look, I'm going Chelsea are going to win. Not because Chelsea are great, because United are going to be, they're done. We've seen Chelsea do this at the end of the season. When it's not going well, new manager, ship it. That's exactly what's going to happen again here. So 4 wins, 2 losses, 4 draws, 12, 16 points going into the last match of the season. That'd put us at 59 plus Southampton, which you imagine we win 62 points. Does 62 points get you top 4? If we get one more result, man, that'd be a bad Premier League if that's the case. So here we go. A very decisive last match of the season. Going into the season, you would have thought this was an easy 3 points of formality. They're probably fighting relegation again. Nottingham Forest, May 25th, away at the City Ground. Okay, win probability 55%. I do not know what AI is smoking on this one. 25% draw, 20% loss. I don't see it. You know, we just had to deal with Newcastle. Now we got to deal with Nottingham Forest. I mean, these are going to be 2 top 4 contending teams. Do Chelsea have the excitement, the energy, the enthusiasm to get over this one? I mean, Nottingham Forest, they're in dreamland. They're above City still. They're in 3rd. They're not that close to Arsenal, but I mean, if some things continue to go sideways for Arsenal, they could be. I don't see us winning. So I mean, I'll be as optimistic I can be as a draw. 4 wins, 2 losses, 5 draws. 20 points from here to the end of the season, 63. Assuming that we beat Southampton, 63 points. Does 63 points get you into Champions League? What's the lowest points total a team has gotten and still made Champions League from the Premier League? Let's see what AI has to say about this one. That seems like a really low total. 60 points in 2003-2004 when Liverpool finished 4th. That season, the Premier League was highly competitive at the top, with Arsenal winning the title unbeaten at 90 points, Chelsea at 79, Manchester United 75, and Liverpool's 60 points were enough to edge out Newcastle, who finished 5th with 56 points. So they say historically 60 points is the lowest, right? But man, oh man, that is not a lot. What's the average points total for a 4th place finish in PL since 1992? We're going to wrap it up here. Do we realistically have a shot at this? That's interesting. You know, we've got only 1 point between us and City in 4th place. So it's really tight. But usually you have to be high 60s, low 70s to get into 4th, right? What do you think? Chelsea going to do it? What matches did I miss? Is the Conference League going to be a distraction? I don't know. Sounds like Maresca's focused on that one a little bit. You let me know what you think. Matches you think I missed. I'm very neutral on our ability to go win big matches between now and the end of the season. Nottingham Forest, Newcastle right at the end is going to be tough. Arsenal, Tottenham back-to-back, also with an international break in between, going to be tough. 3 matches in 10 days at the beginning of April, going to be tough. You got a young squad, not a lot of leaders, potential injury issues. Chelsea fans, make it make sense for me. Help me out. I'm looking for you to help me out there, all right? Go plug into the pod, full YouTube videos there. Until next time, Chelsea fans, you know what to do. Keep the blue flag flying high.